Segment 2, Defeating Time Thieves. Professional time is a valuable commodity. Still, many professionals ignore the time thieves that steal minutes from their days. With prior planning, however, you can turn the tables on time thieves and become far more efficient and effective than you have ever been. Distractions, king of time thieves. You know how annoying distractions can be when you are trying to concentrate on your work. A ringing telephone, someone stopping by your desk, or even a stack of files can take your attention away from the task at hand. Anytime you are distracted from a task, additional time is needed to refocus. Studies have shown that people require from 45 seconds to 16 minutes to eliminate a distraction from their minds and turn back to what they were doing before they were distracted. Even if you are quick to refocus, you probably waste at least 15 minutes for every 10 times you are distracted. There is value in an orderly and efficient workspace, but some professionals are their own worst enemies. Many desks resemble small mountains of paper because incoming items arrive in volume. Every time you sit down behind the desk, ready to work, a pile of potential distractions awaits. Instead of piling periodicals, files, letters, and receipts on your desk, use letter baskets or small boxes in fixed places on the floor or credenza. Separate incoming items into 4 broad categories: correspondence, items requiring your signature, periodicals and other items for review, and solicitations or junk mail. The object is to free your desk from distractions and spend time on less important items after time-critical work has been done. Queries, the death knell of productivity. If you have children, you know how annoying their endless questions can be, especially when you are trying to concentrate on something else. The same thing happens in an office environment. Few questions are so important that you must answer them right away. Suggest that staff members keep a query list on their desks and write down their questions for you as they arise. Then, team members can bring their list to you during low payoff time and ask for answers. Surveys tell us that professionals spend nearly 2 hours per day on average responding to questions. 2 hours per day equals 3 months of time each year. This extravagant allocation of time is necessary only because the questions are brought to you when they arise rather than all at once. How have-a-minutes add up. Colleagues, co-workers, and even your spouse have the potential to waste inordinate amounts of your time. Other members of your team can help free you from many time-wasting interludes. These have-a-minute encounters typically waste 5 minutes or more. Multiplied through the course of the day, the amount of time you lose can be significant. Head off time wasters by adopting a simple tactic. When you are working in your office, always close the door. If a closed door sends the wrong signal in your enterprise, try rearranging your office furniture so that colleagues passing in the hallway cannot make eye contact with you. Ask someone on your team to watch for time wasters who get past your office door. Remember that outsiders generally have no idea who staff members are. As a member of the work team, almost any staff member can be an authority figure. All the staffer needs to do is walk in and say something like, "I need you." If you feel compelled to continue the conversation, you are free to do so. However, the staffer's interruption gives you an escape avenue of sorts. You can leave the impromptu encounter without upsetting or otherwise alienating a friend or coworker. Tracking interruptions. Often interruptions seem well-intentioned. For example, you may be stopped in the hallway and asked to sign a letter. Time is required for you to review the letter, make any changes required, and sign. While the process may take only 30 seconds, your train of thought is interrupted, and time is required to refocus. Few items are so urgent as to require an immediate review or signature. Similarly, few pieces of incoming paper cannot wait a few hours for your review. Instead, your support staff can save these items until a specific time of the day. If you work in a small but busy enterprise, you may need to set aside 2 or 3 5-minute periods during the day to respond to requests for information, sign outgoing documents, or review completed assignments. Distractions, queries, and have-a-minute conversations are allowed to happen. You can avoid most of these interruptions by helping your team learn to distinguish between high payoff and low payoff time. Most interruptions can wait for low payoff time when you are not involved in a high payoff activity. The application exercises for this segment include an interruption tracker. After tracking interruptions for a couple of days, you will likely discover many interruptions with the same root cause. Solve the problem that creates these interruptions, and you can save an hour or more each day. When you multiply that hour per day over weeks and months, the sheer dollar value of this rescued professional time grows and grows, and your value to the enterprise increases exponentially as well. The long hours myth. In every business, what really counts is what you and your colleagues get done, not how hard you worked doing it. Most professionals work long hours and emerge with little to show for their extra effort. If you understand your high payoff activities and spend most of your time on those items, you can often achieve twice as much in half the time. This is not to suggest that you should head home or to the golf course after lunch each day, but if you manage your time according to your high payoff activities, you probably could. Remember a simple mantra: goals, results, rewards. Use the time tracker that is part of this segment to track the time you spend on high payoff activities. At the start of each new week, set 4 or 5 specific performance goals. When you reach your objective, reward yourself with free time. Take an afternoon off to spend with your family or hit the links. It's up to you. Relax in the knowledge that you have spent most of your work week focused on high payoff activities. In so doing, you have produced the maximum benefit for your enterprise. Your extra week. Many professionals bemoan the lack of time for achievement. Most never recognize that they have an entire extra week at their disposal. The next time you hear yourself complaining about lack of time, remember this: each week has 168 hours. If you work 10 hours per day, you're left with 118 hours. If you sleep 8 hours a night, you have 62 hours left. If you spend 3 hours a day dressing, eating, and commuting, the equivalent of an entire work week remains. What will you do with your extra week this week? Remember to read or listen to this segment once a day for at least 5 days. Listening with spaced repetition helps you internalize the ideas presented here. Complete the participant response sheet and application exercises before your next coaching session.